and Rob of KinderConnect, and they're going to take over. Eric has screen share Rob. We've made him co-host. Thank you so much. You can get on and introduce yourselves as we speak. Thank you.
Thank you. So my name is Greg Robb. I'm the Customer Success Manager for the state of Louisiana. I'm very excited to be on today to help present and help you guys get through the system so that we can get through some of this change. It's a change going from one system to another. We do have quite a few capabilities from webinars, trainings, direct phone support, and emails and chats to help you guys along this journey to get into this new system. I want to introduce to you Eric Robinson. Also, we have on the call Stephen Caballero and Nora. I'm not sure where Nora is at, but she's on here somewhere. And they'll be also helping answer the chats. There, I see you, Nora. When you guys send your messages, please make sure that drop down where it says, there's just a couple names. Make sure it goes to everybody. I know they're working on making that change. I'm just going to ask if it doesn't change in the next few minutes, if you could write down your questions, because I do agree with Sheila. I think everybody needs to hear the questions, hear the answers, and we need to make sure that we're very open with communication. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Eric, who's going to take you through Kinder Systems, KinderConnect, KinderSign, and KinderSmart.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you so much, Greg. Yeah, I'm seeing a few questions coming into the chat. I'm going to try to get to all of those as quickly as I can, and try to make sure we move this all along. If you could if you are asking a question within the chat where it says to, go ahead and click on that and send it to everyone. I know like Greg said, they are working on to change that right now. But we have, like Greg said, a couple other people from Kinder Systems answering questions, and we want to make sure that we get to all of those. I do already see a few questions about tablets and all that. We're going to be answering most of those in the session today. So give me one moment. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to turn off my camera. Zoom's been crashing for me a little bit lately, and when I turn off the camera, it seems to help. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So if you prefer not to see me, you're welcome. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll get started. Okay. So today we want to kind of start from the beginning and then kind of give clarification on a lot of different things. With the rollout of the system, there's been different questions and concerns and, a little bit of confusion. So we wanted to kind of start from an overall view, and as we kind of go through, give clarification on things. So about tablets, tablet deliveries, KinderSign, KinderSmart, KinderConnect, what exactly they do, how do you access them, where does EdLink fit into all of it? We're hoping that this kind of clears up a lot of the confusion. If you're still brand new to the system, please do still stick around. We think this kind of covers just about everything. But like I said, if you do have any questions, feel free to put those in the chat. So a bit of agenda real quickly. So we're going to review kind of our products, KinderSign, KinderSmart, KinderConnect. What are they? What do they do? How do they apply to your locations, to your businesses? We're going to be showing the application process. So how do you get access to KinderConnect from EdLink? We're going to be showing the tablet registration process, and then where you can also get additional information. We've also been sent many questions over our previous webinars. We're going to address some of those that we may not have fully covered within the other slides and training here. So let me go ahead and start with the products here. We have KinderSign, KinderSmart, KinderConnect. KinderSign is the tablet application. This is going to be what's installed on all state-provided tablets. You are able to install KinderSign Louisiana on your own tablets if you wish. But KinderSign is going to be used by sponsors when they get to the location. They will approach the tablet. They will enter in their phone number and a PIN number. The PIN number is something that they themselves set up. And then they'll be then able to clock their children in and out of care. KinderSmart is basically the mobile version of KinderSign. This is also another attendance application that families will use to clock their children in and out of care, and it can be used across multiple locations. We've seen many questions and concerns. Which one do you use? The answer to that is both. KinderSign, KinderSmart can be used interchangeably. So if someone's using KinderSmart, their phone dies, they can switch on over to the tablet. That's totally fine. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the tablets and the shipping in a little bit. So if you're here for that, just sit tight and we'll be sure to answer those questions here. KinderConnect, this is going to be the web application. So this is what you're accessing through EdLink. So if you have access to this already, again, that's under the entity management section, and there's going to be a little section called KinderConnect. That's going to be what you click on. If you haven't been through the application process yet, which we're going to talk about again here, it will not let you into KinderConnect for your location. So if you're having trouble accessing KinderConnect and haven't done that application process, that's going to be what we'll need to do in order to get you in there. All the attendance that's recorded in KinderSign and KinderSmart will show up in KinderConnect. All live attendance is immediately brought in there. KinderConnect is also going to be where you can see what attendance has been submitted to the state. All the attendance is submitted automatically after 9 days from the 9 calendar days from the end of that service period. We're talking more about that as well. KinderConnect is also where you can add non-subsidized private pay or full cost families. If you wish. So,
email.
looks like might have someone on mute there. Yeah, please be sure that you mute yourself there just to be sure that everyone can hear. So KinderConnect is just going to be for you all as providers. KinderSign, KinderSmart is just going to be for the sponsors or the families. Anyone who's clocking in children in and out is who we consider a sponsor. Okay. Bit of an overview on how that kind of all fits together. So we do that we explain that using kind of what we call the 3 points of electronic attendance. The first step is sponsors are going to record attendance in KinderSign and KinderSmart while they're physically there at the location. That's an important distinction. Takes us to our second point is all that attendance is then reviewed in KinderConnect by you all as providers. So within that EdLink, go into entity management, go into KinderConnect. That's going to be where you will review the attendance that is recorded in KinderSign and KinderSmart. And lastly, that attendance is then automatically submitted through KinderConnect to the state after 1 week. The attendance is automatically submitted every Monday. It's going to be 9 days from the end of that service week. So every service week ends on a Sunday. So from that Sunday, a full week, and then the following Monday is going to be when that attendance is actually submitted to the state. And we're going to show you how you can see how that attendance is submitted here in just a little bit. All right, so how do you apply to have access to KinderConnect? Well, there's a few registration steps that we're going to go through here. First step is you're going to go to registration.edlink.la.gov. You will want to make sure that you already have applied and have access to EdLink before you go through these steps. But you're going to go to that registration link. You're going to then select request permission. All right. It's then going to take us to a section where we can choose our location. And then we also choose the application which we are needing access to. So you'll see a few different options there, but you're going to want to make sure you click on KinderConnect. Okay. Once you select on that, it's going to take us to our next step, which is selecting the role. Role is going to be the permissions that you have within the system. If you are a director or anyone who needs to manage the families that are in the time and attendance system and verify records and register tablets, you're going to want to make sure that you're CCAP attendance administrator. If you're just needing to see the attendance but nothing else, so if you have a secondary role or you still kind of just need to check the attendance, you're going to be CCAP attendance user. Okay, so again, if you're needing to register tablets, run reports, anything like that, you'll want to make sure that you apply for CCAP attendance administrator. And then lastly, our final step where it says optional notification, you're going to put in the reason why you're requesting access. So you something as simple as, we're needing to register tablets, we're needing access. You'll be able to then put that in there. 1 second, let me go ahead and see if I can mute everybody here. There we go. All right. So you'll then be able to select CCAP attendance administrator. That's a very important step at the very bottom, that little checkbox. That just kind of confirms that you are needing to be that CCAP attendance administrator. So then you'll then have full access with KinderConnect once you are given that, that ability. Once you submit, usually it takes about 2 business days for those to then go through. Once it does go through, you'll then be able to go back to, oops, change the slides for me there. There we go. Back to EdLink, you'll sign in just like you would normally. And then under entity management on the sidebar, you'll then see KinderConnect. If this is grayed out and you're unable to click on it, means your application has not gone through yet. But yeah, once you click on KinderConnect, it will then take you to where you need to be. So again, entity management, and then KinderConnect is where you want to go to access the time and attendance system. So before registering tablets, before anything, you want to make sure you go through this application process so that you have all the information, all the sites needed, so you can actually push on through in the attendance system. All right, this is going to be what KinderConnect looks like. So when you do click Entity Management KinderConnect, you'll be then brought to this page. It's going to automatically sign you in using a single sign-on process. Up at the top, there will be the different activities pages. So feel free to browse those. There's a lot of features within KinderConnect and pages that we won't really touch in today's webinar, but definitely feel free to click around and poke around in there, because there's a lot of really good reports and things within there that you can definitely use. At the bottom, where that little arrow is the announcements page. So this is showing the homepage announcements. Anything that has to do with the time and attendance system, the state will actually put information here, basically stating what's going on. So if there's any type of changes or updates to the system, it will let you know here. And lastly, in the top right, we have some additional icons that give some additional features within KinderConnect. The first one is the live chat. So if you hit that little speech bubble, it will give you a separate window showing a live chat that will allow you to converse with a Kinder Systems support agent. Our support is open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. So you'll be able to.
Excuse me, Mr. Eric.
Yes.
I can hear some noise in the background. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mute all of them here. Sorry about that. Okay. So to those who weren't able to hear me, so if you click on that little chat bubble, you'll be able to open up a live chat where you're able to converse with Kinder Systems support. We handle everything with KinderConnect, KinderSign, KinderSmart, as far as how the time and attendance system all works. So if anyone gets like locked out of KinderSign or anything like that, we can assist with that. Anything that has to do with specific subsidy information or child information, we would refer back to the state. But yeah, definitely feel free to let us know if you're having any issues there. Also in that top right-hand corner is the help page, or you'll notice it's a little question mark. Any page that you're on that has that, if you click on it, it will show a little document about everything that you may need to know about that page. So if you're on the message center, it will show you information on that. If you're on the attendance detail page, it'll show you information on that. So any field or search box or anything like that that you may have questions on or not quite sure how to use, click that little help icon. It'll give you the documentation that you need for that page. Okay. One page I do want to point out that is probably the most important in all of KinderConnect is the attendance detail page. This is where you can see all the attendance that is being recorded in KinderSign and KinderSmart. So as soon as all that attendance is recorded, it's immediately live and ready for you to review in that attendance detail page. So you'll see that there's the children's names on the left, and then the days a week up at the top. You're able to cycle through those weeks. So if you need to go back 2 months to look at the attendance, you can certainly do that. You can sort through the information in alphabetical, reverse alphabetical, even sort through age. And of course, you can search for the individual children there. So if you have a huge list of children to look through, you can certainly sort through the information pretty easily. Any attendance on here that shows up as red or as yellow means that there's either an invalid time pair or a missing time pair. So every time that's recording the system should have a corresponding in and out time. But if any attendance is missing, the system will notify you of that on this page, given those color distinctions. Families are also notified of missing times within KinderSign and KinderSmart. There's a little notification that lets them know, but we usually try to make sure that there's multiple people checking. And I usually recommend to providers coming in here and checking the attendance at least 3 or 4 times a week. That way, so if there's any missing attendance, they can notify the families that there's some attendance needing to be corrected. Also on here is a little example of how the attendance will look when submitted. So again, after that service week is up, 9 days from the end of that service week, that attendance will then automatically be submitted to the state, and all the attendance is then locked. Okay. Sponsors do have 6 days to go back and backdate any attendance if needed. But yes, the attendance will then show as submitted after that period. All right, tablet shipment updates. For anyone who has any questions about, where's their tablet, how do we get a tablet, all that, we want to answer here. So the state is providing 1 tablet per location. You are able to provide your own tablet if you would like. So if you have any Android or iOS tablets lying around or used for other purposes, you can install KinderSign Louisiana on those to then be used to clock children in and out of care. So we're currently in the process of shipping out all the devices for type 3 and type 2 providers. Everyone should be receiving their tablets here. Tablets are being shipped to the site's physical location. So we won't be using those mailing addresses unless it's that physical location. And tablets are being delivered by the U.S. Postal Service, and a signature is required upon delivery. If you have not received your tablet after March 31st, please open up a support ticket at provider.supportsystems.com. And then in that ticket, you'll just want to put, "I've not received a KC tablet" in the subject line, and we would then be able to assist with that here. Okay. So again, if you have not received your tablets, go and wait. We've actually shipped out another 200 tablets this past week. So you should be receiving those in the coming days. But again, if you have not received it by the 31st, go ahead and submit a ticket, and we'll then be sure to get you covered.
Hey, Mr. Eric,
Yes.
is there going to be a time in here that I can ask questions along the way?
Yes, we'll be getting to a section. We actually saved a bunch of time at the end for questions as well. If you have any questions about a specific topic, you can certainly put those in the chat as well. We have some people taking care of those as well.
Okay.
Eric, can I say this real quick? This is Sheila with CCAP. For any of you that have questions, again, can you please put them in the chat? The only selectees right now, you only have 2. If you put it into Karen F, we would appreciate it, and we're going to go through those questions at the end of this presentation. Thank you.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you. So the tablet registration, once you actually receive your tablet, what are you going to do? So here's an example of a QRC or a quick reference card that is available on our info site, but we want to go over that with you here. So when you receive your tablets and you power it on, you're going to want to connect it to your Wi-Fi. So in the bottom left, you'll see a little eye icon, and you will then select that, go to settings, tap on the Wi-Fi, and then you'll be taken to a spot where you can then connect the tablet to your Wi-Fi network or mobile network. Important thing to note is KinderSign is able to go offline. So once it's registered, if you have a maybe spotty internet or the power goes out a lot, you'll still be able to use KinderSign. And then once the Wi-Fi connection is reestablished after it's been offline, all the attendance that's been recorded in that time will then immediately be uploaded to KinderConnect. So if you have any worries about that, you can still definitely use KinderSign to record attendance. Okay, so once you connect it to your Wi-Fi, your tablets may receive an update, a day 1 update, so to speak, that will put it on the right version. These tablets do auto update, so every once in a while you may see those tablets update. Okay, to receive your tablet registration QR codes, this is a question we got quite a bit. You'll need to make sure that you have access to KinderConnect. So if you do not have access to KinderConnect just yet, you won't be able to get those QR codes. You want to make sure you'll at least go through that application process. And if you already have, if you haven't received any information after a couple of days, you'll want to make sure you submit a ticket with the state. So to get those tablet registration QR codes, if you do have access to KinderConnect, you're going to go to reports. From there, there's going to be a little drop-down menu where you'll select KinderSign tablet registration form and provider mobile sign-in sheet. You will need both of these in order to register your tablet. The first one you're going to download is going to be the KinderSign tablet registration form. Once you select that, you're going to then hit View Report. It's going to download a little PDF. And you can then open that PDF. You can actually scan that QR code that's on there directly from the screen. You can certainly print it out if you want to, but it is not necessary. Once you download the KinderSign tablet registration form, again, you'll also need that provider mobile sign-in sheet, because again, there's 2 QR codes you're going to need to register a tablet. And this goes for state-provided tablets and any tablets that you have yourself. So again, if you download KinderSign Louisiana, you want to register those 2, you're going to go through these exact same steps. All right. On the far left here, that's going to be what the screen is going to show when you open up KinderSign and it has not been registered yet. It's going to say scan QR code to register this tablet. Again, the first QR code that you're going to scan is the KinderSign tablet registration form, which I have an example here. You're going to hold up the tablet to that QR code. You're going to hit scan. It's going to open up the rear-facing camera. It's going to scan that QR code, and it should then say device registered. Okay. Once it says device registered, you're done with that KinderSign tablet registration form. You don't need it anymore. You're then going to be taken back to that scan screen. Does not mean you need to scan the tablet registration form again. It means you're going to be scanning that other QR code, that mobile sign-in sheet. So again, you're going to hit that scan, hold it up to the provider mobile sign-in sheet, and then you'll be then met with this screen here. Once you reach this screen, you're all set. It's now ready for sponsors to start logging attendance with KinderSign. We're going to be talking about the tablet registration, KinderSmart registration at the end of this webinar if we have time. But with KinderSign, once it reaches this screen, you no longer need to interact with KinderSign. Okay, it's purely going to be on the sponsors to log in using their phone number. And the phone number that they're going to use is going to be the one within KinderConnect. If you have access to KinderConnect, you're going to go to sponsor search, look up the account, and you'll then be able to see the corresponding number that's on there. But again, sponsors are going to be the only ones putting in their phone number here. Okay. All right. So additional training and support. So what's additional information that you can find about the system? Obviously, I only touched on a little bit. There's so much more to the system, more than we can cover in this webinar. So I want to make sure that you at least have access to all that information here. The information site, edlinkinfo.com. We have additional documentation, webinars, videos, quick reference cards. We have a lot of information there. Please check that out. We'll be also sending on updates to that as well. Like I said, upcoming webinars on that homepage, you'll see a lot of different links to webinars. We're currently scheduling ones for April. For the month of March, we did one every Tuesday and Thursday. That seemed to work pretty well. So we're going to try and continue with that, but we will be updating that with the new dates and times for all of the upcoming webinars. In these webinars, we go through registering, we go through using KinderSign, KinderSmart, how to use KinderConnect and everything. So please attend those after the webinar is over.
Did I miss anything? Okay. I'm sorry.
You're fine. Yes, I'm just gonna go ahead and mute you here. This recording will be made available, as well as all the other information is going to be sent to y'all here. So yeah, these upcoming webinars, definitely please be on the lookout for those. We do Q&As at the end of each of those webinars. So if you do have any other questions or issues, please come to those and we can help you out. There is provider specific information. So again, we have videos, documents, QRCs, quick reference cards for you. We also have stuff that's pointed towards parents as well. So this information is there for you. You can use it however you see fit. So those QRCs, you can certainly print those out if you would like. This is an example of where you'll find those QRCs Again, those quick reference cards, I can't stress enough how invaluable they are when you are training families on how to use the system. They are incredibly useful. You can download them, you can print them out, you can really do whatever you want with them. Anything within KinderConnect, KinderSign, KinderSmart is available as a QRC. For the QRCs, again, here's an example. So this is one on how to clock a child in or out. So it literally goes through all the steps of how to log into the system, how to go to attendance, how to clock, set your child in, out, and then also how to see if you've missed any attendance. So very, very handy. We also have a link to the edlinkinfo.com on the bottom left, and it's also our support email and phone number. So if you print these out and you have any additional questions, just look in the bottom left and that'll point you to where you need to be. So frequently asked questions. There's
Excuse me.
Yes.
Where in the bottom left? You're saying that we can get the numbers in the bottom left. I didn't see it.
It's going to be in the bottom left of the QRCs. These are going to be what you're going to find on that EdLink info site. We'll put a link.
Okay.
If Stephen, Greg, if you could put a link to the EdLink info site, that'd be great. So you'll be able to find those information there, man.
Eric, can I jump in again? This is Sheila. Okay, so for everyone that is sending questions, I do understand that some of the answers are coming to you. What I would like for us to do, so everyone can see the question and the answer, to help cut down the number of the same questions being asked, please put them in the chat to Karen Fletcher. And she is trying to cut them all from her chat and put them so Kinder Systems will be able to answer all questions at the end of this presentation. So I apologize for that. Thank you so much. She's doing the best she can to get to take the question and put it to everyone so we can see all the questions, so we can get all the answers. So thank you guys for that. But let's hold all the questions to the end. Make sure you write it down or put it in the chat to Karen Fletcher. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much. All right. So again, yeah, those QRCs are there for you and the families. So like I said, anything that you can do in KinderConnect, KinderSign, KinderSmart, there is a QRC for it. And that, again, that's going to be under the edlinkinfo.com site. Yeah. So some frequently asked questions, anything that I wasn't able to kind of cover in the rest of these slides here, I want to make sure that we cover here. So some frequently asked questions, if our childcare site has another childcare management system, such as Early Learning Ventures, ProCare, Brightwheel, can these still be used? The answer is yes. If you are using a childcare management system and you would still like to use it, most likely it can still be used. If you do use one of these systems, it will basically replace KinderSign and KinderSmart. For more information about that, please reach out to us at support. We can help get that set up with you. You would need access to KinderConnect and everything else to verify the attendance. KinderConnect would still be used if you are still using a child care management system, but we have set up an API so there can be an integration between the systems here. Only certain software vendors have signed up for use of the API. So again, reach out to us at support. I recommend shooting us an email, supportla@kindersystems.com, but you can give us a call at 888-829-9258. We can help you integrate or verify that the CMS has integration capabilities. Will foster children be using KinderConnect as well? Will they be automatically added to the KinderConnect roster as well? Yes, all CCAP certified families, including foster care children, will be including KinderConnect. And yes, it is anticipated that foster children will be added soon. We don't have necessarily an ETA on that, but they are being added as soon as possible. Can a site have 2 administrators for KinderConnect? Yes, they will need to have access to EdLink and apply for access. But yes, 2 administrators can. We also usually recommend that way. So if someone leaves abruptly or changes position or anything like that, you'll still always have an administrator that can do what they need to within the system. Some other questions here before we do a recap. When our site begins using KinderConnect, will we have to add the children to a roster? No. After that tablet is set up, your children, as far as have a subsidy with the state, will automatically appear in the system. How does our site return our TOTS machine? Once the tablet for KinderConnect has been received by your site and since has been transitioned from the TOTS system, you will mail the TOTS device back to Conduit. Okay. If you have any questions, please reach out to that number 1-888-281-0326. Again, that was 1-888-281-0326 to mail back those TOTS machines. And then the last frequently asked question that I want to address, if a parent phone number changes, what process will parents need to complete to update their information? So providers can update their phone number for sponsors. We actually have a link for those there, but yeah, it'll be done from the edlink.com website. Okay. All right. So a quick recap. KinderConnect, again, is the website we use to review attendance. This is, again, access to EdLink. If you do not have access to this, you want to make sure you go through that application process that we talked about before. Go into that registration.edlink site, and then you will then complete the application from there. Should be then receiving an update, usually about 2 business days, and then you'll have access to KinderConnect. KinderSign, again, is a tablet application. It's installed on all state-provided tablets. You are able to provide your own. KinderSmart is basically the mobile version of KinderSign. This is also where families will clock children in and out of care. And then again, if you have not registered for access to KinderConnect, please do that with registration.edlink.la.gov. Those tablets have already been sent out. If you do not have your tablet by March 31st, please submit a ticket at provider.supportsystems.com. And again, for more information, please go to edlinkinfo.com. Yeah. For Kinder Systems support, you can also reach out to us at 888-829-9258. You can also reach out to us at support@kindersystems.com. If you have specific tablet related questions, I definitely recommend sending us an email. We have our tablet team constantly monitoring that, making sure that they are all answered. If you call in, you may be referred to some other people, or your ticket may be escalated. So the email is usually the best.
Slow, please.
Looks like I'm gonna go ahead and get everybody there. And then again, for EdLink help, specific EdLink help, if you are having any issues or questions, do submit a ticket. You can also reach out to the provider number, provider help center at 1-877-453-2721 or email edlinksupport@la.gov. Yeah.
Can you talk a little slower, please? I can't get the number, please.
My apologies. Yeah, again, that number was 1-877-453-2721. I have it brought up on the screen for you as well. And the support number for Kinder System support is 888-829-9258.
Eric, let me share that this presentation will be shared, and we'll try to go ahead and get it on our website. If you need something very quickly, just take a picture of your screen, but you're going to get a copy of this presentation, and we'll put it on our website also. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right. So now we've come to the questions portion. We want to make sure we left ample amount of time to get to as many questions as possible. So please put those in the chat. I do ask that, unless specifically called upon, if you could please stay mute. We want to make sure we try to get through as many questions as possible. Okay.
So Eric, how would you like to do this? Because Karen F is putting questions in the chat that she has received. She's going to go ahead and put them all in the chat. I know we have duplicates, but from my understanding from Melinda, someone is already answering some of the questions. So do we want to start there, or do you want to start with the questions that Karen has put in the chat to everyone?
Yeah, if we could start with those questions that Karen's put in the chat, that'd be great.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that definitely helps sort through some things there. Okay, so give me 1 second. Let me get through the chat here. Okay. Just make sure I get all those here. Right. So we have one question. We have children that receive childcare assistance but not listed in KinderConnect. How do we get them added to KinderConnect? So any children that are missing and that do have an active subsidy, we actually implemented a fix. So you should be able to see those within the next couple of weeks. If you have not seen those after a couple of weeks, please reach out to LDOE specifically by submitting a support ticket. I'll see if I can put that support ticket link here in the chat. Greg, Steve, Nora, if you could put that in the chat, that'd be awesome. But it's going to be that link that you'll want to submit a ticket if there's any children missing after that period. But we have submitted a update to the system that should fix any children missing issues. Something else I want to note is if you're having any issues with KinderSmart, we actually just released an update on Wednesday. So please have your families download the latest version if they haven't already. Typically, it's an automatic process. Some people do have it blocked where apps don't automatically update. So if you do have any family members or sponsors that are having any issues with KinderSmart, please have them download the latest KinderSmart application and it should fix their issues. Let's see here.
Excuse me, for the app for KinderSmart, but do they download the parents?
If you could put your question in the chat, but for KinderSmart, that's going to be downloaded on the parent's personal smartphone device. So when they go to Google Play Store, Apple App Store, they're going to, I can't talk today. They'll put in the search box KinderSmart LA, and they'll see it come right up. They're going to download that. And then there's actually a registration process, which I actually have a couple slides to show if needed. But yes, they will download it and they can register from there. You know what, while we're looking through questions, I can bring those up here for you just in case. Which if someone was needing to register for KinderSmart, you would go to sponsor search within KinderConnect, search through for the name. You can also just do a blank search to bring up all sponsors. You can then click on that sponsor's name at the bottom within the search results. And then from there, it's going to take you to their detail page where you can then download the registration QR code, which you'll see in the middle there. Once they scan that QR code, they're all set, they're ready to go, and no other steps are needed. Yeah. On to some other questions that we have here. What do we need to do if a child left the center that we receive CCAP for and do not need payments any longer for those children? Sheila, do you mind taking that question?
Hi, this is Tamara, and I can answer that question.
Oh, sure, great.
Thank you, Tamara. I was trying to unmute. Go ahead. You're the best person to answer. You're Melinda. Thanks.
If you currently have children appearing on your roster who are no longer attending your center or who are no longer in CCAP, you can submit a ticket to the provider help desk at provider.supportsystem.com. When you select your topic or your subject for your ticket, make sure that you say no longer attending, so that the provider specialists are able to go to that ticket and remove those children.
Excuse me, we're not trying to be rude, but you're going in and out.
So there might be cut off there. Okay. All right. So to answer some more questions here, we have another one. How do we submit our attendance to state? The attendance is automatically submitted. So once it's recorded using KinderSign, KinderSmart, after 1 week from that service week, that next Monday, all the attendance will then be automatically submitted to the state. So come Sunday, when the service week ends, it's going to be 1 week and then that Monday, so 9 calendar days, and then the attendance is sent to the state for payment. Let's see here.
Okay, I'm sorry, we couldn't hear you because you're breaking in and out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We can hear you.
Tamara, am I breaking up a little bit?
No, Eric, you're clear.
Okay, thank you. All right. Looks like we have some other questions here. For that part of the phone number with KinderSign, what number do parents use to clock their children in and out? So when a sponsor is going to KinderSign and they are putting in their phone number, the phone number they're going to use is the one that's located within KinderConnect. Typically, this is going to be the one that they use when they have actually applied with the state, because the state is going to be the one that's adding all those subsidized sponsor and child records into the system. So whatever phone number they use to apply with, that's going to be the one that they're going to use. Again, yeah, if they are needing to change that, they can change that within EdLink.
I have a question, if that's okay.
Ma'am, could you please, I'm so sorry, I don't mean to be rude. Can you put it in the chat, please? Because I know
okay.
we got like 40 questions. And he may answer your question. So we're going to let him get through some of the questions that he has. And we hope to answer those questions, because I'm sure a lot of the questions we may have already received. So let's see if we can get through some more questions. Thank you, ma'am.
Awesome. Yep. Thank you so much. So let's see here.
Hello?
Yes, so I'm just going to go ahead and mute everybody here. So again, you know, as we were stated, if you do have any questions, please put those in the chat. We want to make sure we get to everyone's questions in a timely manner here. All right. How does a sponsor add additional people to their account? Do they still have to get fingerprints to be added? So they wouldn't need to use a fingerprint system or anything, but they would want to contact LDOE. The state will then add in those families. If it is a private pay or full cost family, you can actually add that directly in the system. That's not something we're really going to cover in this session here, but for any household designees, specifically for subsidized families, you will want to contact LDOE to add in those sponsors. Once they have been gone through that process, you'll then see them appear within KinderConnect. Let's see here. All right, gotten to another list here. When will foster children be added? So again, foster children are going to be added basically as soon as possible. We're currently in the works on making sure that all those children are added. I know for any children that, you know, are coming up missing, typically they were also foster records. So we're implementing those children pretty much momentarily. So as the system progresses, we'll see those children be added. For KinderSmart app on parents' phones, where do we scan the barcode to register? So again, in my slides here, you're going to go to sponsor search. You search for that particular sponsor, or if you just leave everything blank and hit search, you should see them pop up. I always recommend hitting that little clear button beforehand. That way, so it just wipes all the parameters. You can hit search and you'll see all the sponsors for your site show up there. Click on the name of that sponsor. So in this case, Duncan, clicked on his name. I went to their detail page, and that's where I can then download the QR code. It's going to be a little blue button that says print KinderSmart registration form. And that's going to be where you'll get that QR code. It is a unique QR code for every single sponsor. So you will want to make sure that you go to that specific person's record in order to get that QR code for them. Is there a training slideshow that can be provided to providers? So we don't have a specific slideshow, but we do have webinars that are located on the EdLink info site. We have a webinar that is live that we're doing a couple times every single week. We also have a recording of the webinar that you can look at whenever you'd like. Again, that's edlinkinfo.com, and you'll be able to see all the information there. Again, we also have those QRCs, which I know I talked a lot about, but I can't stress enough how helpful they are, especially whenever you're dealing with families who may need to know how to use the system from afar. Let's see here. For a KinderSmart app, parents' phones, we answered that. Can I remove or add people to a child? So for any subsidized record, you will not be able to add a child or a sponsor unless it is a full cost or private pay family. What do we do if a child is under the wrong person? That you'll want to reach out to LDOE if you input a ticket, or reach out to the number we said before. We'll be putting those in the chat again here. That's going to be who you want to contact if there's any missing children or incorrect children. When will parents receive the welcome information about these changes? Let's see here. Tamara, Sheila, do you have any idea of when they've been contacted by the state? At least as far as the kinder systems goes, we've after we send out the tablets and do the training, but as far as like the families, I don't have that information.
Melinda or Tamara?
I'm sorry, I'm listening to the question. I'm trying to, can you repeat the question again, please, Eric?
Yes, the question is when the parents will receive a welcome information or told about these changes. So I'm assuming it's just when were they going to be told?
The changes that are coming as far as using KinderConnect, if that's what you're speaking of, then we have the webinar that is going out, and we're getting in touch with providers. We let providers know we do provider training as well. But the webinar that is going out, the provider update webinar that we do monthly, we've been notifying parents of the changes that we're going from TOTS to KinderConnect. I'm not understanding exactly what changes they're speaking of, so please be more specific in the chat, and I'll be able to answer your question more specifically. Thank you.
Thank you, Melinda.
Excuse me. I spoke to a parent about whether or not she heard of anything of KinderConnect. She heard nothing of that. So they're not getting the information.
Okay, as we move from the KinderConnect system to the from the TOT system to the KinderConnect system, we're getting in touch with providers. Providers get the tablets, and they're helping their families, or they're giving them their families the information to register. As new families come on to the CCAP system, then we're informing those new families of our use of the KinderConnect system and not TOTS. We're no longer telling families to go out and get fingerprints. We're informing them of the KinderConnect system. So those families that are already registered, they're registered with the provider. The provider is the first contact to let them know that we are changing to the KinderConnect system, and that they can, and giving them the information for the webinars so they can reach out and they can get that information that's on our website.
Okay, I'm a provider and I don't have the information to give to the parent. You mentioned something about a QRC where I got to go into AdLink info. In AdLink info, I am able to get information there to give to the parent.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so and I brought it up on screen here, adlinkinfo.com. If you go there, you'll be able to click on provider or sponsor parents section where you can get all of the additional information. So, you know, even though the parents are receiving a traditional training, it will be up to, you know, providers to basically point them in the right direction and help them along the way. You can, of course, you know, have them reach out to us. More than happy to talk them through, you know, the processes. But we definitely recommend checking out that adlinkinfo.com website. Because like I said, those QRCs are incredibly helpful because you can literally just print those out, hand those to those families. So if you do any welcome packets, you can do that. You can even just stick them against the wall right next to the tablet, and they can do that as well. So there's a lot of good information that'll help you show the sponsors on exactly how to use the system.
Again, if you can pull your camera out and go ahead and take a picture of this screen, this will be helpful if you're trying to get on this immediately after this presentation. And also, as we stated, we're going to go ahead and make sure everyone gets a copy of this this presentation.
I have a question.
If you could put your question in the chat, that would be awesome.
Yep.
I put questions in the chat.
We're still going.
I did too.
We're still going. We're still going, guys. Hold on
through
just
all the
a few
questions
minutes.
here. Yep. All right. So if I have another question, KinderConnect is saying wrong password. If you're getting to the login page for KinderConnect, you're in the wrong section, you want to make sure you go back to EdLink and access KinderConnect from there. It's using a single sign-on process, so you cannot log into KinderConnect using your EdLink password or username or anything like that. It has to be under that entity management section that you'll access KinderConnect. Okay. Let's see here. We got a few more on QR codes. We answered that. If you're having issues with your parents clocking the children in or out, again, especially if they're using KinderSmart, please have them download the latest update from the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, that should fix all of their issues. But yeah, all the attendance that you will be logging in KinderSign, KinderSmart will immediately be able to be uploaded to KinderConnect. Literally as soon as they hit submit, you'll see that attendance show up there. So if you do not, please check to make sure your tablet has an active Wi-Fi connection and is showing online in the top left. If it is not, maybe in offline mode, so maybe still recording that attendance, but not displaying in KinderConnect. Yeah. All right. If a parent enters in an incorrect time, so once the attendance is there, it cannot be removed or voided. So attendance is there. So if they are putting some invalid attendance, that's okay. When it gets sent over to the state, it will be cleaned up. But yeah, no worries. The name of the game is basically just getting that attendance in there for the families so that the state knows that those families are going to your location. Okay. All right, so I've seen quite a few of those questions there on correcting those. Where do I access the application? I have it brought up on the screen here. So that registration.edlink.la.gov, that's going to be where you're going to go to access that registration. You will need to have access to EdLink before you can do that registration process. Again, that registration process usually takes about 2 business days before it goes through, after which point you can go to that entity management section, click on KinderConnect, and you'll get right in. As there are written instructions for parents, yes, those would be those QRCs in that EdLink info site. So there's a lot of good information there. I personally, whenever I do trainings with families, I send them the link to the QRC page. So if they need to know exactly what they need to know, how to clock children in and out, it's there ready for them. Let's see here. We've talked about adding additional sponsors. Again, they're going to—
Can you type that link in the chat?
Yes, we'll have that link into the chat here. I'll go ahead and add that here. If I can type today. Yep, just have that in the chat for you here. All right, getting back to my spot here. Parents can also check previous attendance under the transactions page within KinderConnect, or sorry, within KinderSign and KinderSmart. So I can actually show you what exactly that looks like here. So right there where it says transactions, if they click on that, they will then be brought to a page where they can then scroll through all the attendance that has been recorded. We have another question. If a parent drops off a child before school starts, but then you have to take them to school and then pick them up, how will the attendance be recorded? So any time that child is dropped off or picked up, the parent would need to backdate that attendance. They can backdate by, on this page here where it shows logging attendance, there's a little date and time up at the very top. They click on that, they can actually change that to be a previous date and time. Again, they can go back 6 calendar days, and then they can clock their children in and out of care using that. So if you do have families where you take the child to and from school, they will need to enter in that attendance retroactively once they go to pick up the child. Let's see here. As a provider responsible for doing a process to receive payment, I'm assuming that's talking about this submit process. Again, that's going to be an automatic process. So once the attendance in there, you don't need to worry about it. Again, we always recommend going in there and checking the attendance under the attendance detail page, make sure it is being uploaded there. But once that's all set, there's no need to do anything further. It'll automatically do it for you. Let's see here. My parents that can't clock in, they usually use the phone. Again, yeah, KinderSmart, download that latest app, should fix all their issues. Is there a phone number to reach someone at Kinder Systems? Let's see. There we go. Kinder Systems support 888-829-9258. You can have sponsors reach out to us. You can also have reach out to yourself. Our support team is fully staffed up and ready to take any questions or concerns that families may have. Again, anything state related, we would refer back to the state. So if they have any questions about their authorizations or anything like that, we still would refer back to the state. All right, let's see here. We answered those.
Eric, you're doing an awesome job. This is a lot.
Thank you. Which while I'm going through, Sheila, Tamara, was there any questions that you saw that I may have missed, or I'm still kind of scrolling through them here?
And can I ask, Jackie, that's an excellent question. Jackie, is Jackie Drody on the phone or on the call?
Yes. What was the question?
Okay, so Jackie, Erica was just mentioning, is there any comment, issue, email that's been sent to you that you can share with folks so we can get clarification on it?
Most of them related to the phone number. How do they change the phone number of the sponsor? And then, of course, the authorizations missing from their rosters.
Eric, can we repeat? Can we have a little more information on that? If the
Jackie, I didn't quite hear you. Could you repeat that for me, please?
Okay, the two questions I get most often is, of course, why are the children not on their roster? They still have some that's not appearing in KinderConnect on their roster. And then the second one is how to change the phone number of the sponsor.
Gotcha. So for any missing children, minus if they are foster, you should be seeing them here before the end of the month. We are implementing a few changes to make sure that all the children are uploaded correctly to the right families. So that takes a little bit of time to get the rest of those uploaded. But yeah, if you don't see those children soon, please reach back out to us and we will do what's needed to then help along with that process. And then the second question was to change the phone number.
Eric, before you change subject,
sure.
There are foster children or have not been added, but there's still a lot of children that should be on there that aren't, and that's the issue that Kinder Systems is working on resolving now.
Correct. Yep, and you should see those changes before the end of the month here. So again, anyone also waiting on tablets or children, wait till March 31st. If you do not see them, have not received them, either children or tablets, reach out to us and we'll go from there. But the changes in shipping that we are implementing, you should receive your tablets and receive those children records before the end of the month here. Like I said, we shipped out about 200 tablets just this week. So a lot of you should be receiving those here soon. And then, yeah, with those changes and updates, those child records should be updated as well. Okay. Let's see here. Also back to the question, how families correct attendance. So that's going to be within EdLink. So the families can reach out to LDOE to upload their numbers there. But you can also do that through EdLink. Unfortunately, I don't have any screenshots to share here. But I've been told that they can change the contact number for there. And then it's usually not immediate, but usually after at least a night, you'll see those numbers update within KinderConnect. Another question, is KinderConnect an app or just a website? You can access KinderConnect from your phone. Usually a lot of features there do require a computer or laptop, but you can access it there. So it's not necessarily an app that you can download. Only KinderSign and KinderSmart would be available on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store. When I go to KC, request permission, center location is not an option. Let's see here. Yes, if you're doing the application process within EdLink and you do not see your location, please reach out to LDOE. Please use, let me get back to my side here. Please submit a ticket at provider.supportsystems.com. They'll be then able to help you out from there. So again, if you're going through that application process to access KinderConnect and you do not see your location or your name or both, you will want to make sure you reach out to them. Right. When should we start using the system? When do we stop using TOTS? So as soon as you receive your tablets, please immediately start using the system. So there's no real set date, obviously, because everyone's getting their tablets at a different time. So it's kind of a gradual process. So yeah, as soon as you receive your devices, as soon as you have access to KinderConnect, that's when you want to immediately start using the system to record attendance. For editing attendance, so you as providers within KinderConnect, you cannot change any attendance at all. It's only going to be the sponsors who are going to enter in attendance. And again, they're going to enter in all that attendance using KinderSign and KinderSmart. You would not enter in any attendance at all in KinderConnect, nor do we have the ability to. It's all going to be done through the apps.
Okay, can I just dip in here one other time?
Sure.
For any questions you have, or for specific questions for EdLink, those questions should be sent to our information that we have for you guys, even on our website for EdLink. This is a different company, Kinder Systems. They are, their focus are the Kinder products, KinderConnect, you know, some of the other things. So if you have any specific questions for that are EdLink concentrated, we should contact us at the department or go to EdLink. And I wish I had can someone put that in the chat so Jackie can bring that up on and I don't know if Daisy or Robert are on this Zoom right now. If we could put that in the chat and then Karen can come back and put it out to everyone. But if you have specific questions on EdLink, like very specific questions on EdLink, and as we all know, you have to be in EdLink before you can you know, have the opportunity to do what is required for KinderConnect. So EdLink first, then KinderConnect. But all of your questions that are EdLink questions, we really need to get you to the right email address so you can send those questions in. And again, can we have that put in the chat for anybody that has specific EdLink questions?
And it is showing right now, Sheila, on the screen.
I didn't know if that was what they can go, what they can, you know, go directly to. But guys, if you look at the screen, Sharon is mentioning if you do not have access to KinderConnect, request access at registration.edlink.la.gov. And at least start there. If you have other, you know, other questions, we'll be more than happy to help you with those. So please go there if you have any questions for EdLink.
Yeah, and Karen just put it into the chat. I appreciate that. All of the training resources very specific to EdLink are now in the chat, if you guys can go there.
Thank you, Daisy. And it also has that EdLink, I'm sorry, I don't have my reading glasses on. It also has the edlinkinfo.com on here also. Take a picture of this screen too, if you need to.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, of everything that we're showing so far, this is probably the most helpful screen. So yes, definitely. All right. We have another question come in. Can a parent clock their attendance from home? No. So with KinderSign, obviously that's going to be at the location. And with KinderSmart, it's actually going to use the location information of the device to see if they are physically there at the location. So if they're within range, it'll allow them to log attendance. If they are far away, it's not going to allow them to log attendance. When do parents start using KinderSmart? They can start using it whenever. It's definitely not an either or thing with the attendance. So with KinderSign, they are free to choose between either one. Some people don't really want to use a communal tablet, and that's totally okay. They can certainly download the app and log their attendance from there. We had another question. Was Knox remote support 6-digit code? Yes. So the tablets are secured via Knox. So yeah, no need to touch that. The tablets are restricted, so you'll only have access to KinderSign. Yeah. So you wouldn't be able to download anything additional on the state provided tablets. They are secure. That's due for security reasons. And if anything happens to them, stolen, lost, yeah, they're basically locked from there. Yeah. All right, let's take a look here. We've just about answered all the questions there. We're seeing some duplicates up. There should be some more. This looks like we're using Brightwheel. Can we still use? So yes, if you are using any CMS tools, Brightwheel, ProCare, Daycare Works, anything like that, please reach out to our support system. Let me get back to first our support line at 888-829-9258. We can then link basically those systems with KinderConnect. So it bypasses KinderSign and KinderSmart to allow you to continue to use those. That is something that software companies will have to actually integrate with. So we have a full list of the software companies that do. So in order to make sure that your system will integrate with KinderConnect, you will want to reach out to our support system, and then we can give you additional information. It's basically a couple-step process that you'll need to do. If you do have any issues with uploading attendance, you would reach out to your software's support system. You would not reach out to Kinder Systems. But to get that integration set up, yes, please reach out to Kinder Systems support at 888-829-9258, or please send us an email at supportla@kindersystems.com. Yeah. Let's see here.
Can you repeat what you just said?
Yes, definitely. If you are using a CMS tool, Brightwheel, Daycare Works, ProCare, any type of third-party application, you can, depending on which one, you can still use those to then actually take the attendance from those systems and upload it to KinderConnect. So essentially bypassing KinderSign, KinderSmart, so you basically don't have to run two attendance systems at the same time. You can still use those, and the attendance will be uploaded to KinderConnect. Again, that is only certain software vendors have actually applied to use those. For information on who's actually integrating, please reach out to our support at supportla@kindersystems.com or 888-829-9258. We can make sure that your software will integrate, and then we will also give you a group ID and password so that you can go to that system and update. I would also recommend reaching out to that third-party software. So whoever runs your CMS tool, reach out to their support and ask them, hey, do you guys integrate with KinderConnect? They should be able to tell you, depending on what version of their software that you have, they may ask you to update or do something in order to allow for the integration. Yeah. Let's see.
Will they have to use facial recognition?
Good question. If someone is using KinderSmart or someone's using a third-party integration, they will not take the snapshot if that's what you're referring to. So KinderSign, once you get into that attendance screen, it will ask for a snapshot, which I'm going to go ahead and actually see if I can.
No, I mean, and do they have to use their face to sign their child in and out? Would they have to do that with the tablet?
No, so the snapshot, that just takes a picture, so it won't, no, it won't do any facial recognition. It's literally just a snapshot. that's then held with that attendance record. So, you know, heaven
Okay.
forbid something happens to a child, we can pull that attendance information.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Very welcome. All right. So again, if you do have any questions, please put those in the chat. We're still getting a few of those in. I'm going to try and see if I can re-answer some duplicates just in case anyone was not able to hear me the first time. Let's see.
Eric, I just wanted to ask Sharon. Sharon, you had a question and an answer from a provider?
I'm sorry, would you repeat that, Sheila? I just
Yeah, I
got back
thought you
on.
had, did you have a question and answer for a provider? It was a question.
I did, and Karen just put it in the chat. Although you're using KinderConnect, KinderSmart, you providers still need to keep a daily attendance, written daily attendance of their children, CCAP children.
And the answer is yes, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Greg, I know this is Jackie. I know you've expressed how tremendously helpful the QRCs are. Can you go to that website, edlinkinfo.com, and like just walk through something to show, you know, how, I mean, it illustrates it. It gives them a picture of it. So if they are at edlinkinfo.com and they click on provider or sponsor, and
Sure. I can definitely do that here. So this here is edlinkinfo.com. I can take us back to the main page here. So again, we have some helpful information here. Down at the bottom, we have all the upcoming webinars. So please feel free to register for those. We're doing a couple every single week for March, and then we'll be adding those for April as well. On the right, we have some of our contact information, both ours and EdLink support. Again, even though we're running edlinkinfo.com, we are not EdLink, so any specific support would have you reach out to them. If you go under the provider section or the parent sponsor section, you'll find individual information specifically dedicated to that group. So if we go under the provider section here, we have, let's see if I can just kind of scroll down a little bit. Here we go. We have QRCs, startup guides. If you go to product webinars, we actually have a video that's recorded, same one that we show during our live weekly webinars. So if you're not able to attend, please check that there. We have the exact same information there. And then, of course, again, the QRCs, which I've talked about it 1,000 times before. I'll talk about 1,000 times again. They are incredibly useful. So if you wanted to go to, say, KinderConnect here, and maybe wanted to know, how do I add a child picture? Gonna say
edit
exactly
the phone
how to
number.
do it.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So another cool feature with KinderConnect is you can add in the pictures for the children and sponsors if you wish to. Just going to search, looking up the child, selecting the child, upload picture, and there you go. So those QRCs, literally anything that you can do in KinderConnect is all within there. And again, we have those for KinderConnect, KinderSign, KinderSmart, and IVR. And of course, we have those in Spanish as well if you need them. And then, of course, I always recommend going to the parents and sponsor section. Same information, only it's dedicated to families. So if you go to those QRCs, they're then dedicated in KinderSign, KinderSmart. Same information, but when it's worded towards a family rather than provider, helps it kind of make a bit more sense. So if you come in here and want to go to, say, KinderSmart, how do I backdate transactions? Click on that. It then takes them through those individual steps. So if you want, you can download those, print them out, email them, whatever you want to do is totally fine. And of course, if they have any questions, they can go to edlinkinfo.com, support email, and then we also have our support number there as well. A lot of really, really good, helpful information there.
Thank you, Eric.
Of course.
Yes, thank you, Eric. Just doing a time check. We still have, folks on. If you have not asked the question that you would like to ask, please do so. We only have 10 to 11 minutes left on this Zoom meeting.
Yes.
We're gonna try.
what if another parent comes to pick up their kids? What would happen? Do they have to have the same code that I would have?
If you do have any questions, again, please put those in the chat. But to answer that really quickly, if a secondary sponsor is going to log in the children, they would need to be added by the state if they are subsidized, so that they can log in. If you do have an issue where they are not in the system, the parent or sponsor can backdate that attendance that may have been missed. Let's see here. How do I check the roster within KinderConnect? That's going to be under the child search page. You can also go in to, let's see here. Let me bring it back up here. If you also go under, I believe it's provider and then cases, might be misremembering. It's not letting me. So you can also go, under provider cases to see a full list. There's a few different spots where you can see all the children associated with your record. So you do, again, child search or under provider cases. Let's see here. Does backdating attendance count 6 calendar days or weeks? So it's 6 calendar days. So it's not business days, Monday through Friday would be calendar days. So it's going to be full 6 days before they're not able to backdating the attendance. If it does exceed that 6 days, it will not let them backdate. Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry. This is Karen Fletcher. One of the attendees keep asking a question about QR, and they don't think you're understanding what they're asking. Can that person just ask you the question? Because it's repeated in this chat.
Sure. What
I think that's name? Mandy Fry. Mandy? Are
Mandy,
you still on?
Question about QR codes?
Yeah, Mandy, are you still on? She just hit the chat. Okay. What is your question?
The question was, when you are trying the non-CCAP kids and you're trying to put them in and merge them as siblings, how you merge them as siblings? Because when I go to merge, I go to child and I go to merge, it only gives the option of the CCAP kids to merge the CCAP kids and not the non-CCAP.
So the merging process does not allow for 2 subsidized records or 2 full cost records to be merged. It has to be a full cost and a subsidized. So even if the subsidized is like expired or something like that, they would not be able to be merged together. If you have any additional questions, we can definitely look at your individual case. Please just reach out to that support number, that 888-829-9258. We'd be more than happy to look at it for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see here. We got a few more questions coming in. Make sure I can try and get those here. Will this PowerPoint be available? I can definitely send it to you, Sheila. Are we able to send that to them?
Yes, yes, sir. We'll work on that. Tamara's team will work on getting that out.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Right. We have one more about children.
Roster again.
All right. And then let's see. Can we have the tablets stay on longer? I could certainly talk with my team and see if that's a possibility. But I believe they go dark to save their battery after a few minutes. So we can definitely look into that. Thank you for your feedback. If you do not know if you have a CMS tool, again, CMS tools are third-party software. So this is something that you probably have purchased in order to record attendance. This is something that, like ProCare, Brightwood may have heard of. But yeah, any third-party system that is logging attendance currently. So basically, if you have an existing time and attendance system, that's what would be considered a CMS. And to see if they do integrate, you want to reach out to them. Ask if they integrate with KinderConnect. and they should be able to answer that for you. If you have any other questions, please reach out to our support center. We can help you with that. The contact number to add household designees, Sheila, Tamara, is that 1-877 number a good one then to reach out to?
Tamara, can you answer that?
Hi there. If a household needs to update their household designees, they will need to submit a CCAP 10 change report so that can be updated.
Awesome, thank you. All right. Let's see. We answered that one.
We will. I just wanted to mention too, we are getting close to the end, and Eric, Greg, and other Kinder Systems folks. Before I turn it over to Melinda to kind of finish this session, if you have any questions, you know, as they stated, this is where you need to go. We also have a FAQ that we are preparing that's almost done. We just wanted to have this session first to see if we needed to add anything. So that will also be going out to all the providers. Please work with your parents to make sure that they are ready for this transition. That's going to be very important. If you are not in EdLink at all, that is something that needs to be worked on. I would say definitely by the end of today, so you can go ahead and do what's required to get into KinderConnect. So let's make sure that everybody's working on that. We talked about the tablets, and hopefully everyone will receive their tablets in the next, I would hope next, you know, a few days. We do want to make sure that you guys get whatever you need. If you need to attend another session with Kinder Systems, they said they have stated that they have 2 that are going on next week. Please jump on and register for those. From the Department of Education's team, is there anything that we need to go over in our last couple of minutes? And then we're going to send it over to Melinda.
Do we have to have the CMS program?
No, the CMS, you do not need CMS program at all. It's just an alternative if you have one that you already use and would like to continue using. No. We had another question come up about missing kids. Again, if you are missing any kids, that's including if you have twins or siblings or foster children at all, we are implementing a fix that will push us through. And again, foster children will be added as we go along, but they have not been added yet. So if you have any children missing, those will be added in a little while. Again, we're still kind of in that rollout phase, so we're trying to get everybody on, but please do try to have the families log attendance if they can. If you have any problems with it, please reach out to us. Again, you do not need to fix any incorrect attendance. As long as the attendance gets in there, that's basically what we're looking for when it gets submitted on over to the state.
Awesome job, Eric. Thank you so much, Greg, and other Kinder Systems folks. Melinda?
I just want to say, I want to say exactly what Sheila said. We thank you so much, Kinder Systems, for this, but I want to say to the providers, we know that there's a lot going on right now, and we know sometimes you get frustrated about change. You're not going to have all your questions answered in one webinar. My suggestion is that you jump on to additional webinars that Kinder Systems is providing you, that you use the Kinder support line to get the additional help, that you use the EdLink line to get the additional help. Change is always difficult. And as we move to getting better at what we do, we're going to have some changes. We're here to support you at LDOE. Kinder Systems is going to help us to support you in that change. And the EdLink team is also helping you with that change. I thank you so much for jumping on here today. I hope that it has gotten you closer to the journey of getting to where we all know we need to be. But I know that if we can manage these troubled waters, that we are going to get to a peaceful place very soon. I see it on the horizon. Thank you, thank you, thank you again, Kinder Systems. Thank you, providers. Thank you, families.
Hi, can anyone hear me?
Yes. Hello.
I don't know if the folks are still on and I'm not being disrespectful, but I heard them say they were gonna send a tablet out to type 2 and type 3, but I did not hear them mention family child care providers. So I was wondering if those tablets had been sent out or what.
Well, I haven't got one yet. They haven't approved my children yet. I'm a home-based daycare.
Yes.
And they haven't approved them yet, so I don't know.
Hi, I'm FCC. I have my tablet. I got it last week.
Okay, good. So that's good to know because I mean, there was limited with questions and I put that question in the chat like 4 times and it never got answered. And
Sorry, those questions, they were filtering them out. So yes, that includes family home providers as well. If you haven't received a tablet by the 31st, please reach out to our support and we'll make sure you get situated.
Okay.
Okay. My question that never really got answered was, okay, when I came on here, all I knew is that I received a KinderConnect tablet. I went through the process of registering it. When I sign on, I see the pad where the sponsor puts their phone number in. That's for when they come here at the site. But a couple of days in the week, they do not come here. I have to pick them up at the bus stop. What happens then? When the parent is not there and I'm the one that initially collects the kids and deliver the kids.
So for any attendance that the family is not there for, they will need to backdate that attendance in KinderSign and KinderSmart.
Okay, so the parent have to download KinderSign or KinderSmart on their smartphone.
Specifically KinderSmart on their smartphone device. Yes.
Okay, and it'll tell them what to do, like it told me what to do by going to AdLink and getting that code to scan onto my KinderPad, right, tablet. So they're going to get a code that they can scan so that they can do what they need to do, or it's different?
Yes, they'll be informed on where to go. You'll want to make sure that they have their QR code that you can get from KinderConnect. But if you go to edlinkinfo.com, you'll see a step-by-step guide on how to get that.
Okay. All righty. I hope I understand it. There's a lot of information given, and Eric, not to be disrespectful, but being that it's all new to us, and you have to keep in mind, family child care providers are really grandmothers that started doing this more like a babysitting service, and with technology, like in everything, it has moved and we've had to grow, but we're still on a slower pace than the norm. It was a lot of information given very, very fast.
Totally understandable. Yeah, we're here for you, and I'm with you 100% of the way. So if you do need anything at all, please let me know. This goes for everybody. Please reach out to our support. Please check out edlinkinfo.com. I wish I could stay to get to more questions. Please come to our webinars. I run those, me and a few others, Stephen Cabero, and a few others, so we can certainly answer your questions there.
Just check to see who's screaming.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the sessions, but please join us at those webinars, and y'all have a great day.
Great.
I have a question.
Thank you.
Eric and Greg are dropping from Kinder Systems and the other Kinder Systems folks. What's your question, ma'am?
I just need a website that I can forward to the parents.
State that again, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I need can you have the website for the parents that I can forward to the parents? You said something about EdLink info. Is that correct?
I'm not understanding that. Jackie,
She's asking about the EdLink info website, but I think that she's misunderstanding what that site is to be used for. You don't send your parents to that site. That site is where you go to get your questions answered. It is up to us as the providers to pass this information along to our parents.
I appreciate you answering that. Thank you for that. But we're also going to try to have, when we have the FAQ finished, I would really like for us to have some information that would be helpful for you to share with the parents also, so you can help your parents out.